like we're in the thick of Christmas and Thanksgiving, and
Yes.
we're both like, stop looking at me. We need to get a break. Like we need to just walk away completely and like get a good night's sleep, come back and start again. 'Cause it feels very daunting when you look at all the orders that you have and they need to be out in the next 24 hours and it's only 4 hands doing it at that time. There were a couple times in Christmas where we were both ready to be done. But after a good night's sleep and taking time away, you can come back in with a fresh start and excited to do it again. So
yeah, I've probably quit my job at least 10 to 15 times over the years.
Walk it out. Welcome to the Lead Lamp Podcast. This is Brett Wiley. This week we have Lauren and Julie from More Desserts from Central PA. So welcome to our podcast. I'm excited. I know Kara has a little bit of insider knowledge with you guys, but I, other than researching quickly just about your brand, don't know a ton. So let's learn a little bit about More Desserts.
Sure. Yeah, we're excited to talk about it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So, Mom, did you want to...
Let's talk about just your history. Like what got you into, there had to be an origin story of this. So like what really got you into like, I want to open up a dessert shop or just do, bake, you're doing baked goods, but it's artisan stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So our story is a little different. My husband and I were house parents at Milton Hershey School for 15 years. And Lauren was getting ready to graduate from high school and she was taking a gap year. She needed about $10,000 to do a mission trip. So I just started baking and was selling them to people on campus and so forth. And literally it fell in our lap. It just grew like crazy. So that summer we were able to leave our full-time job as house parents. And that's when it started.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And I can imagine we're taking a step back for a second. I can imagine this has nothing to do with baking or even desserts, but being a house parent with Milton Hershey School has to be a pretty rewarding experience as well.
Yes.
I mean, I know you stepped away from it to do this, but you guys did it for, you said about 15 years. So yeah, I mean, that has to be very fulfilling.
Yes, it was a very fulfilling job. And in fact, we still do so much with them. They're one of our biggest partners with our business. In fact, right now we have a lot of decorating classes going on and we have the whole middle school cool. coming through on a rotating basis. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of kids.
I'll come back to that. But all right, so you had a need obviously to raise a little bit of extra money. So you started making and selling, baked goods, cakes, cupcakes, anything, and then
started with cake pops.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
well, and that's like is that like a entry? That's a good entry point, I think, for a lot of people that are like home baking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, it is. Sure. It takes a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun.
Little desserts.
Yeah.
So then now, when you guys are opening your business, what period is this? Like, what time? How many years ago was that when you first started kind of getting into like we're turning this into a business?
Yeah, that was 2016.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And August of 2016 is when it officially started. So we just finished up 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you came through a big, we have a lot of businesses on here that somehow seem to have all picked the great time to start like the fall or winter right before 2020.
Yeah.
So you guys at least had, established yourselves for a few years before that happened.
Yeah.
But even still, it's not like that it affected everybody, but that was still a business that you could probably still operate and bake and do what you needed to. It still got a little weird with probably a brick and mortar store. But you have the ability to still bake though.
Yeah. We adjusted. Yeah. We made it work. We did a lot of, home kits where people could pick up stuff and do it at home. Okay. So we really sailed through. We did well that year.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And
you got innovative, but either way, you started with cake pops and then I'm sure you evolved into like, okay, well, we have to do more than cake pops. We have the ability to do more. So walk us through kind of just the growth of, more desserts.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say right off of cake pops, we just headed right into cupcakes.
Okay.
And the one thing that sets us apart from many other businesses in a bakery business is we do a lot of flower designs. We do a lot of bouquets where our flowers are or our cupcakes are made to look like a bouquet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of that. And I think that honestly is what sort of just moved us into the next segment of our business.
Did you have experience doing that before?
No.
You just learned on the fly? Because some of the stuff, I saw your pictures on your social media, like some very intricate designs. Is that a hard learning curve? Like, was there I'm sure there's a lot of like, I got to restart that. You're learning. Like,
for sure.
Frustrations because you're like, this isn't doing what I want it to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flying buttercream and
at least it's tasty. It's a tasty mistake. Like you can.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, for sure.
But no, I mean, that is something that when you see that designs that you guys are putting on your desserts, they are very intricate and very ornate. And I'm sure that hits a very specific target audience, like a lot of weddings. I'm sure it's more than just weddings, other events too, but you have a distinct look with what you're doing.
Yeah. And we don't want to get away from that. Even with opening the brick and mortar, we want that to still be on the forefront. That kind of, like I said, it sets us apart.
Yeah. When it puts you into a niche within what you're doing, it's not just like not that they aren't fun, but like the kids theme things or like, I want one to be like Bluey or something that's popular right now. Yes. I'm sure you get requests like, can you do this?
We sure do.
But sounds like you stick to your guns with like, this is kind of our niche we carved out for ourselves and we're going to stick with that.
Yeah. Yeah. We have diverted some.
Okay.
I would say, we have built a staff now. And so I've brought in people who enjoy doing those types of things. That's not really my thing, so.
When it's art, but everyone has it's just like any other art.
It is. It really is.
People have a specific type of art that they're really good at or they really hone in on or one that just excites them.
Sure.
Like you might be just as good at doing a themed cake as someone else, but they might have a more excitement to do a different style than you would. So.
Yeah. Yes. And I would say that with what we do, it's very time consuming. Mm-hmm. And, I don't think that people understand that a lot of times. And even when we come to like pricing and so forth, it's just like, it's how much?
Yeah.
And it's so much work.
How do you deal with the sticker shock if someone, like if I were to come in and say, I need cupcakes for my wedding or I need a cake made for my wedding, how would you deal with someone? Pretend it's me. And I'm like, you're going to charge me what for that? Like, there's got to be a way that you're used to now. Like, well, here's how we do it. This is why it costs this much. You kind of walk them through the product.
Absolutely. We do walk them through, so they do understand it.
Yeah.
You have a plumber come in your house. They're there for 15 minutes and you owe them $70.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a skill set too.
Yeah.
And it is hard though, because people think, anyone can make a cake. Mm-hmm. Anyone can make cupcakes. And truly you can. There's a lot of people who can go in their kitchen and make a cupcake or a cake, but can they decorate it to the extent that we do?
Right. And you're taking it to a different level than they would be at a home version of it.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I must say though, our followers, they're amazing and they get it.
Yeah.
So I think we've found our people. Yeah. or they have found us. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, you've created your own mini like raving fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to. And that's with any business. Like you need your own little core group of raving fans. And not just because they're going to constantly buy your product, but they're going to tell someone else. And then I'm sure that you get a lot of business probably that way where they're like, well, they did my stuff for our wedding or they did this for my event. Like you got to check them out.
Yes.
And then that just kind of creates its own momentum.
Oh, yes. Sure. Yes. We love weddings. Weddings are, I love weddings.
And that's probably for you, like, it's a good talking point for your customers because they're going to be there. Oh, who did where'd you get those?
Yeah.
And that just spirals into other weddings, I'm sure, and it just builds from there.
It sure does. So, I mean, Lauren, she does a wonderful job, but I would say that as far as like the flower and the intricacies and stuff, I don't know if that's really your.
Yeah, where do you guys break out? Where do you guys kind of see yourselves? Because are you both partners in the business, or like where's the mother-daughter breakdown come into the business?
Yeah, she says I'm the unpaid partner. I don't pay into the business, but I do everything that she pretty much does for the business. So the goal is for her to be able to step away within the next 3 to 5 years and be a grandma and get to enjoy her life. So I'm kind of in the process now of learning all that I can from her and all of, the designs and her look and all of that, which I know a lot of because she's my mom. I grew up with her and I know what she likes and what she doesn't like. The thing that's hard is she's really good. And I like people. I like the retail side of it. I like the marketing side of it. So it's a lot of a learning curve right now of where that sets me when she steps away.
Yeah. Well, and inevitably there'll be a slight style change just because, you're both different people.
Sure.
It's just a matter of, how do you incorporate the existing old guard and new guard of any business. And that happens in any family business. It'll always bring on its own family, it'll always bring on its own flavor when it changes from one family member to the next.
Definitely.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it's the evolution of any family business.
Sure.
It's just, how can you harness as much as you can in the period you have until your mom wants to step away from it?
Well, her dream has always been to have she always wanted a coffee shop, So I keep that in the back of my mind as we're going into our new space.
Yeah.
And I still want to be part of the business even after 5 years. I just want to bring in my elements. That's it. Right now I'm doing everything. I'm doing the business end, trying to decorate.
Keeping the books.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the day when I can actually just do a cake.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom, I need a cake. You got it.
Yeah.
But a whole other end of the business is just not my thing.
Yeah.
That's just been a real learning curve for me, and one I'm not really too excited to learn.
Yeah. Well, and I think that happens with a lot of small business owners where, even with what we do, I started doing what I do, building websites, digital marketing, 15, 18 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I find myself, as my team grows, I'm doing less of the things that I used to have a passion for and love. I still try to get my hands into some of it, but I'm also spending many days where I don't touch any of that and I have to do whatever, the not fun business part of it.
Absolutely.
Planning ahead for things, working on strategically, what equipment do we need? What do we have to do? How can we plan for all these stuff? And then I look back at, these guys and they're doing all these really fun media projects. I used to do that. So I think every small business owner feels that. And it's just, you get into it with a passion and then you realize later you're like, wow, there's a lot of other stuff in the back end to keep this humming.
Yes, for sure. And when you start bringing a staff in.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. The whole hiring thing.
But it is fulfilling knowing that you're building a team and supporting a team. And there is some advantages to that too, because then,
there are,
and it kind of is a give and take. We've talked about this on the show before with other guests, is there's a give and take too with that, because it does give you some freedom to do other things, but then you're also constantly attached to this team that you have to support too. So
yes,
it's a balancing act.
It is a balancing act. It is.
Yeah.
And we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I don't know if I could say we'll ever say that we got there.
Right.
There's always gonna be another, there's more hurdles. There's always more hurdles.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
But Lauren came on basically for the marketing end of it.
Okay.
She does so well with that.
Yeah.
We go in stores now and people are like, oh, you're the girl from more.
That's good though.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that for her. And that's where her gifts really are. And so.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see that continue as we open the store and see where we go in the next couple of years with that too. So
she's more the face of the business.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that. She can be the face of the business. I'll stay in the background and make my cakes. So.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now you had touched on this earlier. In addition to the actual business itself, you offer or you bring in Milton Hershey school, like kids from the school. Do you do other community things? And kind of how are you involving more than just the retail side? Like it sounds like you're also involved in the community in your local area as well. So kind of how does that tie in and what are you doing to support the community as well?
Yeah. So one of our biggest goals going into our new retail space is doing decorating classes. Now that's something we have been doing since about 2017. And that is probably the real strong direction we're going with our business. And so we do bring Milton Hershey in a lot. They do a lot of classes with us, but we do classes at other schools and at businesses. We've done team building.
Yeah, I was going to say, that'd be an interesting...
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Oh, my goodness. So we've done a lot of that. And we've done Girl Scouts, the whole gamut.
Okay.
And it's been super fun. So we're excited to have a place that's going to allow for that. So we're excited.
The teaming up with the schools is probably a blast, too, because the kids are just, like...
They're fun.
It's way different... Team building stuff is fun for work too, but it's got to be different too. When you got a whole class of kids coming in and they're like, this is exciting. What kid doesn't like cupcakes or working with, sweets and stuff. So, and then they also probably realize it's more than just eating cupcakes too. I'm sure there's like that transition where they're like, oh, cool. Like, we're making something.
Right. Yes. They've surprised us. They really have. I don't know why you assume like this business or making cakes or cupcakes is more of a girl thing kind of, but the boys that we have been so fun and they're so proud of themselves, when they make these cupcakes and it's just really fun to watch them. Yeah. All of them, all the kids. Yeah. So,
well, I will say that I do bake. I bake twice a year. So I have a rule. I do a lot of I have a whole different art side of what I do. We won't talk about that today. It's not bad. It's a whole nother podcast. Yeah. But when my kids were very young, my wife, you're not going to like this first, but my wife got a cake from someone that was like extraordinarily expensive for like a 1-year-old cake. And I'm like, I'm going to learn to do this on my own. Okay. But I started just tinkering around and at my core, I have an art-minded brain. Like I'm going to create.
Yep.
So I just started messing around with them, and now twice a year I do I completely go all in on it, and I just do this crazy, whatever theme they want cake.
Yeah.
Now my skills in the beginning probably not as good as they are now, but I do spend. So I do appreciate the time that you put in them because I spend an enormous amount of time that week getting into it on my daughter's cakes.
Fun! That's super fun.
They go over the top for what I can do at home.
Yeah.
So this is fun to hear you talk about classes and stuff like that where guys or even middle-aged school, like boys, get proud of it. Because I do it and I look at it and I step back and I'm like, okay, that was pretty good. Now it gets destroyed in 10 minutes once the girls get into it. But it's still like a fun thing I just like to do a couple times a year for my girls.
Yep, that's awesome.
But it does bring out like that creativity. I don't know. You just lock in on something like that. And I'm sure you feel that too when you guys are working on your creations where once you lock in on a project like that, it's just, I don't know, like you can tune out what's going on around you. You can just go to town on this masterpiece, basically.
And it's interesting because during classes, I can pick out the ones who have a tendency or what's the word I'm looking for? Towards art. You know what I mean? They just have a natural.
Right.
Yeah. And I've actually hired people from class.
Oh, wow.
Just watching them do it. Yeah. It's just immediate. People just have that tendency or whatever. So
I think once you discover that you have a knack for any type of art, or mediums, like you can pick up other mediums a lot quicker.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, it might not, the first couple times you do it might not be the prettiest thing, but you do learn quicker once you learn how to tap into like your creative side.
Yep.
You can pick up other mediums or other tools or whatever quicker because that's how you learned the first time with whatever you started with.
Sure.
And you realize like, well, yeah, I'm going to make some mistakes. Let's just get in there and figure it out.
Yeah.
It gets better quicker then.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. So what is the, back on your own side, outside of the classes, like, but it's kind of along that line, like the learning experience, what was kind of like the arc of skill sets that you had where you picked it up and you're like, I don't know about this. Like, were there some funny moments where you're just like, I can't get past this point, whatever it was when you're learning to decorate? Like, was there a moment where you're like, that's it, I'm done with this. But then you come back and you're like, all right, let's gotta give this another try.
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. As the evening progresses on and it's getting later and later, and sometimes I have to just walk away or go to bed. And the next morning, like, okay.
It clicks when you come back.
Yes, exactly. But, I mean, there's certain things I don't like to do, and I prefer not. I mean, we don't do fondant. Our cakes are just strictly buttercream or cream cheese, and that's where I feel comfortable. I have no interest in doing fondant.
I don't even like, it doesn't taste.
No, it doesn't taste.
I've never eaten a fondant cake and be like, this is
so good.
Just peel it off and eat the rest of the cake.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that?
I don't think so. I mean, the only thing that I can really think of is like when we're in the thick of Christmas and Thanksgiving and where we're both like, stop looking at me. We need to get a break. Like we need to just walk away completely and like get a good night's sleep, come back and start again. 'Cause it feels very daunting when you look at all the orders that you have and they need to be out in the next 24 hours and it's only 4 hands doing it at that time. There were a couple times in Christmas where we were both ready to be done. But after a good night's sleep and taking time away, you can come back in with a fresh start and excited to do it again. So
I've probably quit my job at least 10 to 15 times over the years.
Walk it out.
Yes.
So. We had a family before when I was younger, we had a family business in the food industry. It was delis though. Like delis, a couple of them. And we had a couple family moments where it's just like, well, I guess he quit today. Like the next day they come back in, everyone's fine. It does add a dynamic though at the holidays where it's like, man, I just spent the last 4 weeks with you getting ready for the holidays and now we're back together for the holidays. And it is a tough aspect of running a family business where like you're with them all day and then you have something going on with the family in the afternoon or evening for a holiday and you're like,
yes, we still like each other.
Surprisingly.
Not to mean it that way.
We have words. We have words.
But like even not getting space away, like it's always, we're always together, which is great.
When you go home, you're not there.
Yeah, but it's, at least we get along and we can do the business together and we still enjoy not talking about work and like we still enjoy talking about
you can turn
our lives. Yeah.
Well, she can. I'm not very good at turning but that's the thing. When you have a small business and you're the owner, it's just, there's never a time I feel like I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my phone's with me all the time. There's always somebody who needs something. Always. So that can be draining. Yeah.
Now, like I said, when we started the podcast, I had a little bit of insider knowledge on you guys just because Kara, our colleague, is getting cupcakes for you for her wedding. And you mentioned something interesting about trends that you see changing in that specific wedding space.
Yeah.
Where, okay, so when I got married 13 years ago now, big cakes were not a thing. And you said something shocking when we were pre-recording that you're like, well, actually, big cakes are coming back. So like we didn't even have cupcakes or anything. We did an ice cream sundae bar.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like it was way different 15, 13 years ago with people were doing less, I think. And now it seems like people are doing bigger desserts, right? So what do you see changing trend wise, like since you've started to where you're at now with just what people want?
Yeah. I mean, when I first started, there were a lot of cupcakes going on with weddings, and smaller cakes and a sea of cupcakes, which stuck around for quite a while. And also a very rustic theme. Mm-hmm. Everyone was getting married in a barn, and then the trend has changed some. We were doing a lot of, they're called semi-naked cakes where you can see the cake through. Huh. And now everybody has moved away from that. Nobody wants rustic. I mentioned rustic. No, we're not doing rustic, which is fine. And now I have seen where we are doing a lot more of the bigger cakes are coming back.
Like traditional.
Yeah. A lot of vintage look, a lot of designs on the side with icing and so forth. Have you noticed any other trends?
That and dessert bars.
Yeah, dessert bars.
Okay.
Where people can just get whatever they want, and people have to-go boxes that you can just pile in all the desserts and take them home with you after. So that's another thing we've noticed that a lot of couples want. They want that to be the statement.
That's a big trend too. The dessert bars.
Okay.
That's a really big trend right now.
And do you guys offer everything for the dessert bar? Like, are you able to accommodate that? So it's not just the cake, then you're working with other things. Like, we'll bring in whatever you need.
Brownies,
for your dessert
cookies, you name it.
Cream puffs.
Cake pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so it's kind of like what it was when I got married a while ago, but it seems like it's different. So they're like, they still want the big cake now, but then they're still like, we had a dessert bar. It was like ice cream sundae bar, but it still gives your guests the freedom to go get something else that they want if they don't want a piece of cake.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's lots of people who don't want cake.
And you guys offer, like I said, you guys are doing the brownies, you're doing the cookies, you do everything else. Now in your shop, do you also offer other baked goods other than just cakes and cupcakes or cake products? Like, are you doing cookies and some other things too?
Yep. You want to take that?
In our brick and mortar. So in our market stands right now, we only do cakes and cupcakes and cake pops, but
and cookies.
And cookies. But going into our brick and mortar, we're hoping to expand our menu. We've thought about cream puffs because we do those often. Like chocolate chip cookies, different types of cookies like that. Right now we're doing like cut out shortbread cookies that we decorate with the buttercream. So we're just looking to expand where you can just come in and grab something and go. And it doesn't have to be this really beautiful dessert. It can be something just quick and easy to bring into the office or something like that.
Yeah, a dozen cookies or...
for sure. Yeah, it doesn't have to be crazy. So those are the couple options that we're thinking through about adding. We've talked about donuts before because we'll be open in the mornings. So that is still something we're tossing around a little bit.
Now you had mentioned something like, so you have your brick and mortar, and I think you're working on briefly another potential location. We don't have to go into that if you don't want to right now. And then you mentioned market stands too. So where are all the places people can find your product?
Sure. Yeah. So we're in Lancaster Central Market on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And then we're in the Fresh Market in Hershey on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Now we are leaving that location November 1st is our last weekend there. And then we are working on our brick and mortar right now. So we don't have a standalone shop right now. We bake and decorate everything out of the basement of my parents' house as a certified kitchen. So we've been doing that since the beginning. And it's not big enough anymore.
You've outgrown this.
We have outgrown it. So our brick and mortar, we're hoping to be open by Thanksgiving. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know.
So
you were telling me we don't need to go into that right now, but you were telling me like it started here and now we finally just got to this point. So like you're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Walls are coming down and going back up.
Good.
So.
Good.
Yeah, it's moving along. It's moving along.
Mm-hmm. Good. So eventually there'll be a brick and mortar that people can visit, but then also it's allowing you to expand past your basement, correct? Like
yes.
Like you'll be in there baking and doing everything.
Yes. Right now we're transporting constantly to all these markets out of my basement. So it'll be nice to have the brick and mortar
Yeah.
We won't have to
cooler space. You'll have,
yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not cooler as in, I mean, I'm sure it'll look cooler, but I meant like you'll have chilled, like you'll have cooler space as far as,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What we need for sure. Yeah.
And then like all your equipment, I guess, will just leave your basement then too. Yeah. Plus you'll get some new equipment. But I'm sure that you'll be happy to free up some of your house again as well.
It would be wonderful. Yeah. It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the market stands, are you guys actually physically there? Like you're manning the market stands?
So no.
Okay.
And that's another thing I'm very happy about the brick and mortar because I'll be there.
Yeah.
I don't see, since we've gone into markets, I don't see my customers anymore because I'm baking at home.
It kind of removes that, that personal touch you want on that.
And that's another thing we're really about. We just, like I said, we love our customers. We have personal relationships with them now. They're our friends, so I can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward to that aspect again.
Okay. Awesome. Now, kind of to summarize and wrap up, what do you think is the most exciting part about just what you do? Just being able to be a part of someone's day, or you're making, obviously you're impacting, even if it's just through a cake, you're making an impact on every event that you're a part of, whether it's a wedding or it's a corporate event, like a team building thing. Like, what is just the most rewarding part about what you do?
Well, I would say going back to 2016, I have done cakes for families that the kids were still in utero. You know what I mean? I've done their baby showers. And then I've done their christenings and I've done their birthdays. I have one in particular, I've done everything for her since 2017. And now her kids are 6 and 8 years old. So to me, that's very rewarding.
Yeah.
I do feel like we've been a small part of all her celebrations. Yeah. And I do really enjoy that.
Yeah. And then you'll get to pass that on to your daughter. Yeah. And then eventually it'll be like, wow, my parents got a cake from you when I was born, and now you're doing my kids' cakes. Like, like that, right. That is such a cool thing when you have like a generational family business. As it ages and matures, you'll get customers that come back that are like, you're not gonna believe this, but my mom got a cake from you way back when, and now you're doing cakes for me. Like, I saw that whenever my family had their family business, and it's similar but different. We were doing obviously deli meats, but like there's that over the counter experience where every Wednesday, they're buying lunch meats and cheeses, but every Wednesday a customer comes up, talks to my grandfather, and then it was my dad, and then I was growing up in that business, bagging chips or whatever I was doing. But still, like you get to learn their family, or you get to learn their routines, and then the next generation comes in, they see them grow up, and kind of, it's cool how it's full circle like that.
Yeah, it really is. I really enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. Now, what about for you? What's your favorite part of just being involved in more desserts?
Right now, I think my favorite part is watching my mom and how talented she is, and how incredible she is with building something from nothing. It's been such a gift to watch her and watch what she can do, and it's really cool. So that is one of my favorite things. I would say one of my other favorite things is the relationships with our customers. I was in the markets when we first opened them. When I first was on her staff, I did all of that. So I got to create the personal touch with people, and that's so fun. And it's now like, oh, how are you and Ben doing in your marriage? How was your move? All these really personal things that they know about me because we just talked, and they came and got a cupcake and we just hung out. And I love creating that community for people. It's so fun. Yeah.
And when you finally are into that, you're getting close, but when you're in that setting where you have a brick and mortar and you have daily items, basically, like if you're doing coffee and you're doing grab and go type of things, you're going to then start to forge those relationships then where it's even like daily, or you'll see someone on their routine. Like every Monday I come in and get a coffee and a baked good to hit the road. That it'll be even more fun for those personal relationships, because then you'll start to see people, not just when they have a big event or they need something catered or you're doing it that way, but on a more routine basis when it's just like, oh yeah, this is my Friday treat. I just come in and grab something to take home on the weekends. And that'll be interesting and exciting for you guys to see that kind of take its own personality on within your business.
Yeah, sure. I would agree with that.
Because that is that over-the-counter kind of old school business relationship where it's like the clerk and this customer, and you get on a first name basis with them, and you kind of just learn more about their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to be part of the small things too, not just the big significant part.
Yes,
of it.
exactly. Yeah, and that's important to us. Really important.
It's exciting. And you have a good roots in the community too, just through Milton Hershey and your interactions with just dealing with classrooms or businesses for like, team building things. Like you're doing more than just selling desserts. You're also creating experience for people. So
Yep.
That's awesome. So where can people find out more about More Desserts? Which is a cool name because then not just is only is it a family name business, but it's also kind of a play on words because it's like, oh, you need more desserts.
Yeah, you got it.
Sorry. So anyways, how can people find you guys, get in touch with you if they're interested in, anything that you're offering?
Yeah. So you can go to our website, moredessertsbyjulie.com, or TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, More Desserts by Julie. All of those places we're very active on.
Yeah.
So you can come find us there, watch as we open our store. We're documenting the whole process. So yeah, that's where you can find us.
Real quick question, because it seems like you're probably more of the marketing brain to pick. Are you noticing, so with a platform where that gets more, so your website gets global reach too, but the way Google works predominantly probably shows up for local searches. But when you're dealing with social media like TikTok or something, when a piece of content does go bigger on that platform, do you notice any outreach from people outside of your normal area where you're like, how do I get this? And how do you see that or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had one post that for some reason went viral this year. And people from all over the country were like, oh, I'll be in Central PA. How can I find you? And I was not anticipating that at all. So it completely opened up a reach that I wasn't anticipating, wasn't ready for, but was excited about. So I would say on TikTok has been our biggest reach of people that aren't in Central PA.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the platform that has the potential. It doesn't always work, but it has the potential to take a piece of content and really blow it up. Out of nowhere. And it doesn't even make sense sometimes, which is frustrating.
But I know. You are exactly right.
It's a whole different.
What happened,
it was unplanned and it was just kind of on a whim and then it happened. And it wasn't the content I curated and really wanted people to see.
Yeah, I think that's what.
But that's why it did better.
Yeah. But it was it was a little more natural and we got to chat with people. So that is definitely the platform.
Yeah. Okay.
For that
I was just curious if you saw that or not.
Yes.
We see it too where we're like, why did that piece of content go crazy? We had one the other day where they pranked me where I jumped. Like they were like, oh, we're going to jump on this noise. And then I jumped. No one else jumped. And that piece of content, because they're pranking their boss, I guess, that went crazy. And it's the stupidest.
Exactly.
Anna, our social media, our coordinator, was like, this has got 20,000 views in 12 hours.
That's amazing.
Wild.
You're like, what did I do?
Right.
You never know. But anyways, thank you for sharing your story. We'll put links to all your socials and everything on the show description so people can find you. And then obviously you guys will get clips too that you can share as well from your interview. But no, I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your story.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.